East Sly Avenue. At the light, turn right onto East Sly Avenue.
Welcome to the Happy Hour Drive Live, folks. Welcome to the Happy Hour Drive Live. I am your host, Epiphany Tanya of Epiphany Faith Politics.
Continue on East Sly Avenue for 3/4 of a mile.
Epiphany Faith Politics here. Come on in, share the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Got some things to talk about today. And I might call this a happy hour drive live, but it's some not so happy things to talk about today. Hey RJ, what's going on, my brother? Welcome, come on in, come on in, come on in. Shout out to you, my friend. Welcome to this happy hour drive that's supposed to be a happy hour, but I'm not feeling so happy today, guys. If I'm really being honest, I'm not feeling so happy today after watching some news, current events. It's not so happy. I'm feeling a little emotional today. I'm feeling a little emotional today off the current events that's going on right now. So I call this my happy hour drive live. It normally is a happy time. Maybe the kids weren't as wild today. No, actually I take that back. They were screaming in the hallway. So but it didn't bother me for some reason today. I think I was just tuned out. I was tuning it out. But yeah, it's the video I posted on my page today, on my YouTube channel. The video I posted it on all my different social media, Facebook. I don't have X anymore. X banned me. Don't ask me what I did because I still don't know. But yeah, I posted it to Facebook. I posted it to YouTube. The pending race war. That's the topic today. The pending race war. And yeah, I'm feeling a little emotional and kind of sad about that. I'm feeling really sad. Like, you have to understand that I literally, when I was a child, my mother put us in the desegregation program where we got bused out to the suburb schools where it would be this integration of black and white children. So I went to school with white kids, maybe had a mixture with some Italian kids, some people consider Italian white, I don't know. However, these labels of these races, it's crazy. But anyway, so just to see what's happening, this new case in
North 22nd Street.
This new case in Cincinnati, Ohio, it's got me feeling some type of way. First you had the Carmelo Anthony, and I mean we could trace this all the way back to Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman, that this has been brewing. All of that's going on that's been brewing has been brewing for a long time, and they've been trying to stoke this. They've been planting the seeds of division for all this time, and it's just really, really sad, you know, because you can just feel the tensions that
22nd Street.
Our country is it's on the brink of something, and there's some people who have just given up hope, and I just wonder, is anybody here, like, are you guys on that same token or note, like, okay, America's just lost, there's no hope for it, or are you of the mindset that America can be saved and the people in it can be saved? Some people say there is no revival coming to America. Some people are praying for that every day. I'm wondering. Some people are not even thinking about it. Some people don't care. They're living their life. I'm just wondering where you're at today with this whole thing. But
Take the second right onto East Waters Avenue.
I wish that there were certain things that were required reading in the public school system, but unfortunately our public school system is so corrupted because the liberals, the Democrats have control of it. They took over the educational system, and I believe that the Bible, there's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and any book by Thomas Sowell. All should be required readings in the public school system. Of course, they took out the Bible.
In half a mile, turn right onto East Bush Boulevard.
Most kids have never heard of Thomas Sowell. And Think and Grow Rich was just one I just tossed in there for good measure, because that was a book that I read that really impacted me and changed my mind about what I could and couldn't do when I got so many messages growing up that I would never amount to anything. I couldn't do anything, couldn't be anything. And I believed that for so long. And then I read a book like that. The Bible, number one, was the life changer. But reading a book like Think and Grow Rich, that just gave me all these stories of hope of people who like beat the odds and overcame the impossible and pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and didn't let their circumstances hold them down. Reading a book like that, it's like you can't help but be inspired.
In 600 feet, turn left onto North 22nd Street.
But I'm wondering if you guys have heard about this story.
Turn left onto North 22nd Street.
Situation going on in Ohio now. Yeah, it's a real messed up situation. It's like every day, all the time, there's these shootings, and then, or in the Carmelo Anthony case, there was a stabbing, and then people react and they base everything off of race. And I like at least the rhetoric on this one is the spokesperson for the, and I just plead the blood of Jesus for this
for 1.5 miles.
Person in front of me. I won't even show you guys this horrible imagery. But for the person who is the spokesperson lawyer for the family of this case, at least he's saying, everybody hold off and let's just get all the facts in first. That's something that's not been pushed in past previous cases like that. Like, hold on, let's hear everything, let the evidence come in, let the investigation be completed, stop reacting emotionally. Exactly, the race hustlers. Exactly, RJ. That is the problem, the race hustlers. Hustlers. This, besides being tired today, I'm being distracted by a very horrible image on the back of somebody's car right now. So I'm trying not to look at it. I just plead the blood of Jesus over it. But yeah, that's another part of the problem too. We have these race hustlers that are stoking and fanning the flames. But you have people like Obama and the rest of the Democratic Party who have been stoking these flames for so long, forever. And these are seeds that have been implanted, and they're hard to uproot. Like, as a person who was formerly of that same liberal mindset, it's like sometimes I got to go back and fight against and like stay on that logical path and just like read certain things. That's what I'm saying. Like, go read the Bible, go read some Thomas Sowell. This is what I love about Thomas Sowell. If you haven't heard of him, Thomas Sowell will help you to think more logically and less emotionally. I feel like Thomas Sowell will help you come out of your emotions. I mean, I never thought I would get so much from an economist, but the way that, from listening to him, the way that my mind works now, like, it's not like how it used to be. It's like, again, I told you guys this on another live, how they indoctrinate us to see everything through the lens of race, to think everything is racist. And so listening to Thomas Sowell helped me take in other considerations, that what's another way for me to look at this? It's not just, that's not the only possibility of the equation. That's not the only factor that, you know, because it's like if you don't have that question, if you don't like push back and challenge your own thoughts, you automatically go to racism. But if you understand that there are so many variables, and it's not just this one thing, everything cannot be all summed up and answered, even though this is what the race hustlers want you to believe, that the only possible explanation has to be racism. That's the only reason. That had to be the reason why this person did XYZ, because it was racism involved, that they were racist at heart and they were just looking for this black person to shoot and kill. And so I don't propose to say or purport to say that all Christian people are perfect, or that they can do no wrong, or they don't have flaws or areas of weakness or where they need to work on. But I just know that God always has his people everywhere. And so God is, in the Bible, it talks about God searching out families, like looking throughout the generations in the bloodline to find somebody in that family who he can like reach down to and work through. Because sometimes he just gets that one. You could be the catalyst. You could be that catalyst in your family that leads everybody else to Christ. And so just seeing this family get up there, and the grandfather, right? Again, I'm not saying the man is perfect. Like, you can see that he's not very, you know, he's not used to being in front of a microphone or anything like that. But the fact that he's talking about forgiveness, the fact that he's talking about everybody healing, the fact that he's talking about he's serving Jesus Christ and he's looking at things through a spiritual lens, that is what we need right now. We need somebody that's talking, speaking truth, speaking biblical truth to people at this moment in time in our history. We need more people to speak out and speak up about who Christ is. So that part I was appreciative of. But it's something within, and I don't even like to say
turn left onto East
our community or the black race or anything like that, because if it was up to me, I feel like I would erase all these terms. I would erase these labels. It wouldn't be any such thing as race. Some people believe there is no such thing as race. They said that it's a construct, that it doesn't exist. But for if you want to say the argument purpose, the coming to a common language and definition of things, then we can use these terms because they're going to be used whether we use them or not. I've heard plenty of people say, just stop talking about it and it can go away. And I'm not unrealistic enough to, you know what I mean? Like, I just live in reality too much to be like, okay, I'm the only one not saying it, but everybody else is going to be looking through this lens and everybody else is going to be on this same page, but I'm going to be over here pretending like it don't exist. Like, I don't know how that works. But because I've heard that argument so much, it's just like, oh, well, just stop talking. Especially when I was on X and I had like all these followers on X. I had like 24,000 people, and I would get comments all the time of people saying, just stop talking about race. So I would always post something about black, white, and otherwise. And I would trigger some of my followers because they didn't want to have those conversations about that. It's like most people just don't want to talk about it, you know? And but it's like, how do you not talk about something that's in our society where you have a whole group of people who are seeing it through this lens? How do we not talk about it and have these conversations? I don't understand. How are we supposed to like help them, even if you don't see it the way they see it? You have to at least understand their mind frame and where they're coming from, so you can be able to refute it, right? So you can be able to stand against it. Something. I don't know. You guys tell me. So let me see. I got a little bit of a stop. Hey, Zephyr. So Zephyr's here. So yeah, so this is my little topic today, which is a kind of somber one. It's not like so cheery. Yay! No, it's not funny. But yeah, it was a video I posted today on my YouTube channel, and I said called it the pending race war, and I had my commentary on it, and I'll probably get a lot of flack for it. But I just get tired of if you call out certain groups of people, then you do get attacked. You're not allowed to say what the facts are if something is obvious. I think it was that Ali Stuckey girl. She said something about the black church, and they all lost it on her. First of all, why do we even have a black church? The church is not supposed to have color to it. It's just every nation, every kindred, every tongue, God said. So how is there even such thing as a black church? I mean, maybe I understand it at one point in time in our history, but why are we distinguishing ourselves, or what's the word? Why are we separating ourselves in this way based on the color of our skin?
In 800 feet, turn left to stay on University Square Mall.
And so, what's his name? Vince Ellison. He did a great show with I forget her name. April. I forget her last name, but she has a podcast as well. It used to be something about truth, but she said it's called something else now. I don't know, but they did a great podcast. They were talking about this a little bit.
Then turn right
and
to stay on University Square
Vince
Mall.
Ellison brought up this topic, and I was like, I wish I was there to be like, Vince Ellison, this is still going on today. He was talking about how back in the day, he says this back in the day. I was like, I was just at a church in, what year was that? Maybe it was like 2015. That's not that far long ago, 10 years ago. I don't know, I guess. But he said back in the day, like it was so many more years than that. I just saw this happen at a church. He said, like, when you go to Erica, April was talking about that in the white churches that people come in there and put pressure on them, that they feel like they have to recruit black people into their church to be more diverse, so it doesn't look like they're being racist. But the same thing is not happening in the black church, where it's not like, oh, you don't have enough white people in your church, right? It's not this pressure put on them, but it shouldn't be any of this, period. It should be everybody, especially in Christendom, it should be everybody coming together, no matter the color. And for the most part, in today's society, like he mentioned, you can go worship wherever you want to.
University Square Drive.
You can choose. It's no restrictions. It's nowhere that you can go and they say you're not allowed here. You can't come here. Like, that doesn't even exist. If it does, they're going to have a lawsuit on their hands. So, but I just saw this where he was like, back in the day, it used to be a time where, you know, in the black church, if a white person did come in, they would usher them down to the front row and everybody would clap, saying so happy that a white person was in their church. I was like, they still do that today. What are you talking about? That's still going on. Because it is like we should all be like in 2025. For us to still be going back and forth with this racial thing, this is just, it's mind-blowing and it's mind-boggling. Then I see the race hustlers like Jasmine Crockett. I was watching something where what is that guy's name? He ripped her to pieces with his response. Oh my goodness, this man, they say he's a rising star in the Republican Party. He annihilated her. He annihilated her with his response. I'm sorry. But this man, but she's sitting up there, she's pulling out all these, not even all these, it was like a handful of instances of someone committing a hate crime against black people. Yes, are there still idiots out in the world? Of course there are. But is America a racist country? I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. I love what Charlie Kirk said about the fact that America is the only country that outlawed slavery, outlawed these things. Yes. Did we have a staying pass? Yes. Did we work to correct it? Did millions of white brothers and sisters get on the front line and give their life and fought in that Civil War just like any other black person? It was plenty of white brothers and sisters that put their life on the line in the Civil War to end slavery.
Continue on North 22nd Street.
And they were Republicans. How about that? The Republicans are the ones that signed into law the Civil Rights Act when the Democrats were filibustering to try to prevent it from being a thing. They tried to prevent the gains, which now we know that the civil rights are being used for these other agendas. But anywho, I guess I'm on a rant today. I'm on a rant today because I hate to see what's happening in our country. I really hate this so much. Exactly. Exactly, Zephyr. Church is supposed to be universal. Yeah, you have people like, what's that guy's name? Jamal Bryant. That's another race hustler. He shouldn't even be called a preacher. He's just an activist. He's just an activist. He's a social justice warrior. But he's up in the pulpit with a fist. He had a fist like he's a Black Panther member or somebody on the pulpit as a symbol. And it got so much backlash, he removed the cross to put a fist on his pulpit on the what is that called, the podium. He had the symbol of a black fist raised for social justice, for CRT and DEI and all that nonsense. He removed the cross for that because some of them worship their skin color more than they worship Christ. And then when he got so much backlash, he ended up infusing it with the cross and the fist symbol. It's ridiculous. Thank you, RJ. He said, keep ranting. He said, keep ranting. You're doing great. I love you guys. Oh my goodness. It's unbelievable though. You're going to sit there like, this is what made me leave the Democratic Party completely, where I said I will never, ever, ever in my life ever vote for a Democrat ever again. Like, it was a gradual process for me. It was like breadcrumbs that got left that the Lord did in my life to bring me out of that mindset. And I feel like every day he's renewing my mind. I'm still coming out of that mindset. But this is what made me come out of it, realizing that there were people who were worshiping their skin color more than they worship God. That they were elevating that above Christ our Lord. That's what really broke the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Because I know who God is and was in my life at that time, and all that he brought me through, and there was nothing in this world to me that can supersede Christ. It was nothing that ever being black or a skin color could ever or had ever done for me that changed my life. But Christ changed my life completely. Miracle turnarounds. So you over here elevating worship in a skin color that hasn't done anything in your life to help you. Well, now I guess maybe it's doing something for them because these race hustlers are getting paid. Okay? They are getting paid. But one thing I'm so grateful to the Lord for, that I never could make a profit off of being a victim. I never made a profit. I tried. Don't get me wrong. When I was younger, because I had that Democratic mindset, and I was walking around like a victim, woe is me, thinking that somebody owed me something. I never prospered in that. Thanks be unto God, because where would I be today if that had ever worked for me? Thank God that never ever worked for me. But here's the problem that we're in today, is that so many, I'm sorry to put the color on it, but I don't know how else to talk about this. So many white liberal people are co-signing this nonsense of the DEI and the CRT. They are co-signing it. And because they're co-signing it, it's causing those that are in that victim mindset to prosper off of being a victim. They are so privileged and entitled that they could commit crimes and turn around and be the ones having the press conference asking for sympathy when they committed the crime in the first place. They're so entitled. Because why? I'm sorry, and maybe I'm helping further the victimhood by saying I don't blame them. I don't blame the people who are walking around in this victim mindset. I'm sorry, I cannot help but to blame the Democratic Party. I don't think that it's all like, okay, yes, you're subscribed to that, but I remember when I was lost in that mindset, that's all I knew. You grow up being indoctrinated into that. But if you don't think that these Democrats don't know what they're doing, that they know in their hearts that they can't stand and hate black people with a passion, if you don't think that these people are not racist at their core, the ones who started the KKK, that's who I can't help but to blame. The white liberals, more so than anything. Black Democrats too, they can have some of the blame too, but these people
in 1,000 feet, turn right onto East Bears
who are
Avenue.
co-signing, like I forget where it was, I was like writing something, a response to somebody online, and I was saying how I blame the white liberals because in my neighborhood growing up in the inner city, there was always somebody who was like, the man is holding me down. It was always that kind of rhetoric. But we never paid them no mind. We just kind of laughed that stuff off. It never had no pull or hold or power. It never got any traction. But enter
1,000 feet,
BLM,
on the Livingston Avenue.
enter the Democratic Party, and with Act Blue and all the donations and the mansions, enter in that rhetoric and that narrative, and there you go. There you have it. Now the flame has been lit.
Left onto Livingston Avenue.
Now, I wish this guy would get off my back. Got this man on my back. He is on my bumper. He can read the back of my mind.
For 6 miles.
He knows what's in my thoughts back there. He's pulling up to my bumper, baby, in a rust bucket up on my bumper, man. I wish he would just back up off me. I need a new car anyway. Let me just go ahead. Oh, I do need a new vehicle. Some people don't have nothing to lose. See, this man behind me is a product. This is a good example of like people that don't have nothing to lose. Cause he's in a rust bucket. I'm in a nice car and he's trying to ride my bumper. But I probably won't get nothing off of this dude. If anything happens, God forbid. And I think that's the Democrats. They're so desperate. They don't have anything to lose. They're like, let's just stoke this race war some more. Let's just do all this stuff. Let's just plant these seeds of DEI. Let's plant these seeds of entitlement. Let's remove the cash bail policy. Let's let all the criminals loose out into the streets. Let's give them a slap on the wrist if they commit a crime. Because then we'll just release them into their own neighborhood so they can destroy their own people. This will be population control for us. let's defund the police, because we know that the numbers of blacks killing each other is more than anything. So now they'll have nothing stopping them from taking each other out. This is what we're dealing with right now. This is the fallout of the Democratic Party's policies. And you could trace it all the way back to LBJ and that welfare state. They set us up, bamboozled us. We've been bamboozled, and there's so many people still falling for the okie doke today. I was appalled. I was, I don't know, give me some other word that's like appalled. I was more than appalled to find out that 97% of black women, I want to recount on this. 97% of black women voted for Kamala Harris? What in the world are you smoking out there? What is going on? How in the world could you look? See, I cannot. We got to come off of, because they look like me. Who cares what they look like? Who cares what they look like? Can they do their job? Are they competent? Who cares what somebody looks like? I want to tell you, in my profession, I have, over the years, I think the highest caseload I've ever carried was like 100 people. And that was when I was doing care coordination. It's a little more simpler. It's harder to do 100 people if you're doing counseling. In my counseling profession, I want to say the highest number caseload I've carried was like in the 50s. And that's where you break it down and people are getting seen every other week. It's not, you're not going to have a weekly session with numbers in the 50. You could do about 40, even though that's still not really feasible. Because if people understand what goes into counseling, the drain and the pull that's on that counselor, just doing, to me, a normal number is about 5 people a day, so about 25 people a week. That is doable, that's sustainable, that's something you can maintain for some years. When you get in the numbers past 25 people a week, now you're looking at counselor burnout. But I want to tell you that in my profession and career over these past 13 years that I've been doing this, I've had people from all walks of life come into my therapy room, my counseling session, or my video session if we did telehealth. I had every walk of person. To this day, I have every race of client. Okay, let me take that back. Let me think if I have any Asian. I've had Asian clients, Yep, I've had Asian clients. I'm trying to think about Indian. Have I had Indian clients? I can't think of any off the top of my head. I can't think of any Indian clients. I know I've had Asian clients. I've had black clients. I've had white clients. I've had Spanish clients. I've had Asian clients. Other races and ethnicities, and yeah, I've had some variation of that, because you know you have people that's mixed race, so they'll have like these various, you know, I'm white and Indian. I don't know, white and what's the name of that? What's the name of that place? Oh my goodness. Peruvian. Yes, so I've had Peruvian clients, which is kind of like an offshoot of Hispanic or Hispanic. But they don't care that I'm a black woman. They could care less what color my skin is. At least none of them have said to me, oh, we have a problem with you being black. Guess what they were happy about? That they had a counselor who was competent, who could help them through their issues, that can help them get well and get better. That's all that really mattered in that therapy room. It has mattered in that therapy room in these past 13 years. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the color of your skin. They mostly care. You might have that 1, 2, I don't know, maybe is it 10% at the most, at the worst, you're gonna have 10%. That small fraction of population of people that's insane, that's focusing on something so minute, that's just a skin suit that God made because he's a lover of diversity. He's a lover of colors. Look at the flowers. He made all these different colors of flowers. He's a masterful creator. He knows how to make things look good. And I do say he knows how to make things look good. Anyway, how you like that for self-confidence? Took me a long time. This is hard-earned over here. This is hard-earned self-esteem now. Came straight out of the Bible, straight out of the book, straight out of the Word of God. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Apple of his eye. A royal generation, holy nation, holy people. Made in his image. That's not what I say about myself. I just get on board with what God says and I agree with him. But getting back to what I was saying. Goodness gracious, we got to come out of this victimhood mentality. This woe is me. The man is holding me down. Some people literally think this is like my video I did about when you're Democrat, when your political party fails. And it's like, I had all these different characters. One of the characters was named Victimhood Self-Pity. Victimhood Self-Pity said, I can't get out of the bed because I literally feel like it's a man holding me down. That was victimhood self-pity. The Democrats told me I was oppressed and that white supremacy was going to get me. And now I don't leave out the house because white supremacy is around the corner. Around the corner, help me. Help me, I don't want to be a Democrat no more. That was my character. I've been doing characters for a minute now, y'all. That was like back in, I don't know what year that was. It was like 3 years ago, though. Oh, goodness. Victimhood Self-Pity, one of my characters. In my little stage play I had there on my channel, you got to go through my videos. That's long form content now. I got a lot of short videos, but you got to go into my long form stuff now. You might get some laughs out of it. I'm telling you right now. We got Sally. Sally is on that video. Sally is like, I'm here trying to absolve myself of the Democratic Party. And they've tried to hold all you guys down. They said we're going to turn and make everything racist. Math is racist. Reading is racist. So that you guys will stay dumb. Oh, goodness, Lord have mercy. I got to bring out those characters again, man. I got to do some more skits. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, we got the rust bucket on the side trying to squeeze past. Thank God the rust bucket went around me. I'm sorry. Get away from me. They didn't have nothing to lose. They don't got nothing to lose. They want to looking to do something to a nice car so they can get paid. I don't know how you're going to do that from behind, but they'll figure out a way. They're going to play victim. They hit you and they play victim.
Continue on East County Line Road for 1.5 miles.
all these people now, they sue and they commit crimes. They sue the person that they committed the crime against. They suing them because you had your vehicle out there looking so nice, so it's your fault. Talk about victimhood, man. It's your fault. You left the money on the table. You tempted me to steal from you. You tempted me to steal from you. This is what we dealing with today in this entitled, privileged society that we live in. You're the victim, but it's your fault. It's your fault that the criminal came and robbed you or attacked you or did whatever they did to you. It's your fault, police officer, for pulling out your gun on that criminal. How dare you carry a gun against a criminal? It's not fun. That part's not funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's true. How dare you? They were in the comments of the video today where the cops are in the courtroom of this new case that's over there in Ohio, right? The cops are in the courtroom and it's a thick, heavy police presence in the courtroom. But it's also a thick, heavy presence of the guy who ran the cop down because his son got shot and killed by the cop. This man that they're saying he's insane. They're pleading insanity. So his family is thick up in the courtroom, like jam-packed in the courtroom, and the cops are in the courtroom too. And it's a lot of cops in the courtroom. So in the in the comment section of a video about this, they're like, yeah, those cops, it's all those cops. Why all those cops in there? They're intimidating people. They're intimidating people, and why all the police presence? It's intimidation. So you mean the cop
Continue on Oak Grove Boulevard for 1 mile. Whose
fellow cop was just run down? They're not allowed to come into the courtroom and show support and grieve their fellow fallen officer because they're a cop? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody make that make sense. It's all the cops' fault for the outburst in the courtroom because the guy is standing up at the window of the trial of the man who ran down the cop, and then the cop comes and grabs him and he's telling him sit down in your seat, and the guy's not listening, and he grabs him to put him in his seat, and he get off of me, and it's this whole big uproar in the courtroom. But everybody in the comments is saying how wrong the cops are for being there, even though it was a cop that was killed. So only the criminal's family, the one who did the crime, is the only one allowed to have supportive family members in the courtroom. You don't even know if those cops was related to the man, if that was actually his family, because you know cops, a lot of times they'll have cops in the family. Like that'll be like a family tradition for people to become cops. So we don't know that. But no, they're not allowed to have the cops there because it's intimidation for you to be a cop. So
in a quarter mile, turn right onto Florida 54 East.
Or if any other time in that courtroom, the cops are in there like that in the same way. Who knows? Who knows? Because we haven't done any research. We don't know. We're just all guessing. It's all racism. So it's not funny. I'm sorry. Because this is a sad, tragic case. So I don't want to be like I'm making light of it and I'm just over here laughing it up. The stupidity of the mindset that comes after the fact of these tragic events is what's hilarious. That's where the issues come in.
Continue on Florida 54 East for 1 mile.
So I haven't had any lights in a long time, y'all. So I don't know what y'all doing down there in the chat, but oh my goodness, I think a light might be coming up soon though, so I can get a little read in and see what's going on over here. But yeah, this is sad, y'all. This is sad what we're going through in our country. And now I saw something on a video where they're yelling at Donald Trump they're yelling about Donald Trump not saying anything about the Carmelo Anthony case. I don't know, maybe he wants to wait and let the facts play out. Like on either side, it's just a lot. When people get in their emotions about stuff,
in a quarter mile,
it's all downhill from there. This is why I said at the beginning of the video, this is why I said I really enjoy Thomas Sowell, because his books will make you less emotional. You will think more logically if you listen to and read Thomas Sowell stuff. I want to say the Bible first, but then check out some Thomas Sowell material because it just makes you think differently. It makes you take in other possibilities and not think that everything is through a racial lens. Boulevard. Let me see. Hey, Miss Mandy. Oh, we're just chilling in the chat. So let's see, the way the guy in the courtroom with such arrogance. Courtrooms are public. Everybody can show up. Exactly. Oh, maybe Oprah could get them a new car. Something, because they was just riding my bumper like they were mad at me. I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault. Oh my goodness. So this case and this situation, this is just, you know what, I'm just tired of it. Like I'm sure everybody, I'm sure all of you are, all of us are. We're just tired of it. We're tired of the race hustlers. We're tired of this talk about back and forth and because this person's black or because this person's white, or it has not, like, what does that have to do with it? It's just like what I was saying on my video about when I do these
Continue
videos
on Wesley
of
Chapel Boulevard for 4 miles.
mocking Jasmine Crockett, I have these people come into my comment section on the videos and say stuff like, oh, why is it always a black woman tearing down another black woman? I was like, what did I got to do with it? Why, if she's jacked up, if she's wrong, if she's saying crazy stuff out of her mouth, why can't I call it out? Why can't anybody call it out for that matter? Not just me. But if I can't call it out, because we know that as soon as any other person that doesn't look like me calls it out, then we know what they get called. So why can't I say something about it if somebody's in the wrong? This woman is supporting a party who believes in killing babies all the way up to the 9th month. This woman is supportive. I don't even know what her stance is on. I can only imagine. I can just say she's with the party that's down with that. But she is in support of illegal immigration aliens, says nothing about the victims of these illegal immigrants or aliens or whatever you want to call them. She says nothing about their victims, but she wants to push for their safe entry into America. She's okay with that. She's okay with them coming in here, bringing in fentanyl and human sex trafficking and everything else. And yes, does America have criminals homegrown? Yes, it does. But why import them? Why are we importing foreign imports for criminals now? Make it make sense. I kind of don't blame Trump when he's talking about let's deport even the American ones. Criminals need to go. I don't care what country you from or live in. You don't need to be with the general population of the public. How about that? When you're trying to hurt and harm people. How about that? When you come to hurt, harm, grape, as I have to say on YouTube, grape people, you need to go somewhere. Ship them all off, as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry. Ship them off. You hurt a child, you grape a person, ship them off. I don't care where you were born at. Let them get a taste of that Venezuelan prison over there. Let them live like that for a little bit. See how it feels. But they're so in support of the criminals. They're so coddling of the people doing wrong. They're so like, oh my goodness, he was an innocent victim. No. Why are you committing crimes? You're putting yourself in that dangerous situation. The police are there to protect and serve the public. So when people are committing crimes, the police have authority, they have guns, they're carrying that gun for a reason. And I would say 90% of my experience in dealing with the police is if you're respectful to them, they're respectful back to you. If you're not making sudden moves, you're not doing stupid stuff, if you're not running from them, and it's like this lady, she got on there, God help the people. I mean, I'm not trying to down anybody going through grief right now. They lost their family member. But she talking about we're all scared running from the police. We're all scared whether you did something wrong or didn't. Why should you be scared if you didn't do anything wrong? You're not committing crimes. Let's save that for the people who actually commit the crimes to be concerned and scared and worried, looking over their shoulder about the police. Because again, I want to say 99% of my experience, and I've had some situations, believe it or not, as innocent and cute as I look, I've had some situations that could have been very, very bad. I remember this one day I was driving down the street and it was like, I guess the cop was calling himself trying to block off the road, but I just see his hand waving. From a far distance, you can't see if somebody's hand is waving you towards them or waving you, pushing you back, saying go back. It's a far distance, so you don't know if they're going like this or they're going like that. I'm thinking he's saying come this way. So I keep driving up the street, but it was supposed to be blocked off or whatever. So yes, he started cursing me out. Now, what did I do? I could have been like so many of these entitled people. I had a choice to make in that moment. Was I going to get mad and angry and cuss him out back? or just apologize. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, officer. Even though he was like, you stupid idiot, da, 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 da. He's losing his stuff. And he wasn't right for that. But guess what? He's got a gun and I don't. He's an authority. I have my own authority, but not in that moment, in that situation. He was the one that had the authority. So guess what? I just said, my apologies, officer. And I lived to see another day. And I drove my car away. I made a U-turn and drove back the other way. He wasn't right for calling me names just because from a distance, nobody can see how you're waving, sir. You're like 100 feet up the street waving. You need some type of sign or something out here to block the street so I know not to come down this street, sir. So he was definitely in the wrong. But guess what? If you have any type of relationship with Jesus Christ, you understand that God fights our battles for us. So if God fights my battle, God will deal with him for whatever he said or did that wasn't right. I don't have to sit up there and get back with him and cuss him out and go back and forth. I don't have to do that. God fights my battles every single day. I can tell you so many stories of how God has fought my battles for me. How God has dealt with people that have called themselves doing me wrong. I rarely try to let myself get in the funk. I mean, well,
turn left onto
I get in the funk sometimes when people take my money. I can't lie about that. Like, I got in the funk today because somebody came into my account. You know, they do all this fraudulent stuff online and they try to, you know, they're trying to sell you something. So they hide it and package it in such a way that you don't know what you're signing up for. Because I'm thinking I'm buying a one-time purchase, and come to find out it's a subscription. It's a subscription, and now they're charging me a year later for this reoccurring subscription, and I was ticked.
Turn right onto Post Oak Boulevard.
But even sometimes now, when I have those little moments where I get upset like that, I come back to myself and I remember and I say, Lord, you deal with it.
800 feet, turn left.
Lord, I put that in your hands. You deal with them. And just like that, I can just let it go and I can move on with my life. I don't have to go back and forth with anybody. You don't have to go back and forth with anybody. If you know Jesus Christ, God will fight your battles for you. You don't have to try to get revenge like this man did. Went and mowed down that cop. And then you got people in the comments of this video talking about oh, that's what he gets. Oh, it came back around on him. How did it come back around on him when he took out a cop that wasn't the cop that killed his son? So how was that coming back around on him? That makes absolutely no sense. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just like I heard somebody say, what happened in 2020? Oh, that was coming back on white people. Like, what? Are you smoking crack? I'm sorry. I'm sorry sometimes I lose and I say stuff. But anyway, y'all, I got to go. This is the end of the live. I went on a whole rant today. My friend RJ said I was doing good. He said to rant on, so I did. I ran it this whole live. And I didn't even get a chance to read none of my you guys know what I'm trying to say. I didn't get a chance to read anything that you guys have said, but hopefully, I think I'm about to. I'm about to pull in this parking space, and I'm gonna try to read some of the comments more than if there's anything else in here before I go. I will be, I don't know when I'm coming back. I don't know when I'm coming back to the live. But you guys will get Tuesday. At least you have Tuesday. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in and logging on. I'm going to read these comments, give my shout outs, and then I'm out. Because I have a client that's waiting for me soon. So I got to go ahead and got a very interesting parking space today, I'm realizing. So let's see. Let's check out these comments. Let's check out this comment section. Great comment. They were definitely smoking crack. RJ, I can't take it. Will you call? Okay. I have a client I'm running to, Miss Mandy, but I will definitely reach out. It wasn't even a cop that did it. It was exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was a random cop, Zephyr. How is that revenge? It's like, this is the stuff that they're doing, that it's about to spark something off that we don't want. Nobody wants and nobody needs in this country. We don't need these kind of problems. This is ridiculous. And they like, oh, why has it? Now you got people on the other side, on the Republican MAGA side, like talking about why isn't Donald Trump speaking out about Austin Metcalf? I don't know. Maybe he's not trying to spark a race war. I don't know. Maybe he eventually will. I don't know. We don't need this. It doesn't solve anything. Exactly. It's not solving anything what they're doing right now. They're just stoking all this stuff. So I want to thank you guys for spending this time with me. Thank you for being on this live. You guys are awesome. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You guys rock is basically the short summary version. I'll just go on and on. You guys rock. And I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like my friend Tiffany Henyer says, but I've been saying that saying before she ever came on the scene. She got that from somebody. Let me see if there's anybody I didn't give a shout out to. Shout out to all my people in the chat. RJ, Zephyr, Miss Mandy. Shout out everybody. Shout out. Thank you for joining me for this little live. She stole it from me. There you go. Thank you. I actually took it from it's a pastor in Ben Salem, PA, where I'm from, PA, originally Philadelphia, PA. So as a pastor up there, Bishop Hezekiah Walker. He's a bishop, actually. Bishop Hezekiah Walker, Love Fellowship Tabernacle. He used to always say that, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. So that was years and years ago. She probably got it from him. I got it from him. We both took it. Anyway, so stay blessed, everyone. Let me see. Yes, not to mention it would taint the jewelry pool. No time for anybody to speak about it. Exactly. Like, let's wait and see. Like, let all the evidence and facts come out. Exactly. Exactly. Good point. I love talking to common sense. This Epiphany Tanya. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace.